We've got the Honda CR-V Hybrid.
It never rains in Vancouver.
There you go, Zach.
Ooh. Here.
Oh, whoa, quiet.
Well,
I like that power.
You want me to be quiet?
No.
All right, let's get into what's under the hood of this thing.
A 2-liter 4-cylinder with a pair of electric motors. It's matched to an e-CVT and gets a combined 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive in Canada. In the US, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available.
And when you fill up this CR-V Hybrid with regular gas, you get 835 kilometers or 519 miles of range. So we're in the top touring model. We're going to look at the base model now. What are the key standard features?
The base trim comes with a 7-inch driver information display, a 9-inch touchscreen, wireless, Apple Carplay and Android Auto, a wireless charger, 8-speaker audio system, a heated steering wheel, heated black leather front and rear seats, 8-way power driver seat with lumbar support and memory, 4-way power passenger seat, a moonroof, and a power tailgate. Since there are more trims in the US, not all of these features are standard, but they are available on the Sport L and Touring trims.
Drive modes. We've already got it in Sport, but what else can we put it in?
Got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure to like and subscribe and also follow along on Instagram. It's motormouth_Andrea to see what's up behind the scenes and to get a question in. For me, it's motormouth_auto, and the links are below the like button. So when this latest hybrid CR-V came out, it was so much more expensive than everybody else, and I was kind of like, I'm not sure if I love it. The more I drive the Honda hybrid system, the more I do like it, and the market's slowly catching up to price, but not completely.
Yeah, I think it's a really good hybrid system. It's quite refined. Under the hood are 2 motor generator units, and the larger one is connected to the wheels, the smaller one to the gas engine, and the gas engine acts as a generator. The wheels are exclusively powered by the electric motor.
Except for high speed. That's when you can get direct drive to the wheels from the gas engine and in tow mode as well.
And what I love on the digital driver display is it shows an EV icon. So I can just look down on the left-hand side and it tells me whether I'm in pure EV mode or the gas engine has kicked in. So right now I'm looking down, it says you're in pure EV mode, and I like that. It's just a really simple feature to have, to know where you're at, to get you the best performance and fuel economy.
So the main attributes I would say about this product is it's fairly quiet, it has good handling, nice road feel, good steering feel as well. Pretty typical Honda attributes they have baked into this, with a powertrain that really seems to have an adequate number in terms of horsepower.
Yeah, the torque number is quite good. That combined number, 247 pound-feet. At a stoplight, when you accelerate quickly, you're going to find that it's pretty quick. There's plenty of power. I find the same for passing power on the highway, although under harder acceleration, listen to this. Cabin does get a little bit louder, but actually it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
You listen, in this class of vehicle, doesn't matter what product you're driving, you put your foot to the floor, you're going to hear something. Yeah. So that is perfectly passable for passing.
And this is quieter than the RAV4 Hybrid, as well as the new CX-50 Hybrid. Now when it comes to regen braking, you can control it in a couple different areas. There's B mode, which is on the shifter, but also the paddle shifters. It doesn't bring the vehicle to a complete stop.
Yeah, you're just helping to keep the energy in the battery up. So if you do that, the gas engine is going to come on less.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to get it. Sorry. Now we're going to get in. You knew it was coming, right?
Yeah.
Now we're going to get into the looks of this one, all blacked out, murdered out. They call it. The kids call it that, Andrea. So this wouldn't be my choice. It's a bit of a dull-looking product, but you know what? I'm trying to think of like one in this class that is more exciting. I guess the Kia looks a little more futuristic, but there you go.
And some may not like the Korean twins because they've got kind of all those sharp angles and different looks, like maybe a little bit more unique. Hey, look. This, I think, is going to appeal to a whole slew of people. It's got that boxy design. Yeah, maybe not that exciting, but it's going to stand the test of time. It's not too weird looking.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to change it much either. They're just going to massage it as it goes along in its evolution.
One great thing about this is that when you open up the doors, they are a little bit wider. So getting in and out of the vehicle, if you're putting kids in or pets, I mean, that really is a nice trait. You know, you see that with the Subaru Forester as well.
And also, you still have those two exhaust ports on the front of the car. They
you love them, Zach.
Yeah, they usually put those kind of finishers on the back, but they put them on the front. So it's one of those things, now that I pointed it out, you won't be able to unsee it.
This gets 8.3 inches of ground clearance and comes standard with LED headlamps, LED tail lamps, body colored door handles, 18-inch wheels, available 19-inch, and a tire repair kit. It's kind of a shame about the tire repair kit. You've got the RAV4 Hybrid with a temporary spare tire, as well as the new CX-50 Hybrid.
Andrea, do you smell that?
No, this has got a new car smell.
I like the new car smell, but what if your car doesn't have that new car smell anymore? Okay, now we're inside our own car, and this car doesn't get driven a lot, and it sits outside, so on the inside you can start to get certain scents like moisture. You might have left some food in the car, and if you have a dog, we all know that dogs have a certain wet dog smell, and that can stay inside the car. So this is Drift Air Care products for your car and for your home. The Car Drift products range from $9 to $15 and come in wood, stone, or metal to match your car's interior. All you do is take out the drift tile and place it on the metal sun visor clip. It's magnetized, and enjoy premium essential and fragrance oil blends which are vegan, cruelty-free, and pet-friendly. So this one is called White Pumpkin, and it smells quite nice. And once you sign up for their subscription, you get a different scent each month, even a scent of the month.
For the home, Drift has a home scent diffuser. You take your monthly refill and place it inside. Plug it in with 3 levels of intensity and enjoy the fragrance. Each refill lasts up to 30 days, and you can get a new one each month. So make sure to use our coupon code MOTOR at drift.co or scan the QR code for 55% off. It's less than $5 for your first month.
So that's how you keep it fresh in your car and your house. All right, Andrea, speaking of inside, this is a nice looking interior. It's classically designed to basically look nice for many years to come. However, it is missing features, and that's one of the criticisms, considering the price that they're charging for this, of what you get with a CR-V Hybrid.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the disappointing part about it. Couple things I'll go into here. First off, driver's seat memory does not connect to the mirrors. I prefer my mirrors to connect. It doesn't have it. There is no height adjustment on the passenger seat. It's a 4-way power passenger seat. There's no panoramic sunroof, 360 camera, or ventilated front seats on any trim.
Well, speaking of seats and ventilation, what are your thoughts on the heated seats, Andrea?
Well, it takes a while for them to warm up, but I have to say, now that I'm on this side, I was complaining that the seats didn't get hot enough. They're not bad. They're hotter now.
But the whole thing about heated seats is they're supposed to come on quickly while you're waiting for the engine to warm up the cabin. So your backside's warm. You can put up with a cold start, but that's not the case. They're warming up in tandem, the engine and your backside.
What they are comfortable. Honda really focused on this with this CR-V. They want them to remain comfortable on long road trips, reduce fatigue. So I think they did a good job with that. I also find the storage in here is quite good. You've got your wireless charger in the front of the shifter, traditional shifter. Hey,
that's
you don't
pretty nice,
see many
actually.
of those anymore. And even this unit at the center console is very, very deep.
Yeah, but the design of this, as I mentioned a moment ago, is kind of classically designed. They wanted to, look kind of retro and future forward at the same time. And we're going to talk about the screens and the competition coming up in just a moment in Questions, Coffee, and Cars. But the materials in here are not as industrial as, say, the RAV4, but there is some shiny hard plastic used on the inside, more for decoration than anything.
And then you've got the honeycomb dash that extends across the dash. Some of you are kind of disappointed that every single Honda model now has the honeycomb air vents, but it works.
Yeah, but
I remember when it came out in the Civic. It's a very unique design. I love it. I know you'd like to see something a little bit different in some models. That's what I'm hearing from some of you.
Yeah, people are complaining about how they're going to keep it clean. You're not going to go in there with a Q-tip and do every little opening. You're going to get a vacuum and go across it, and it's going to suck out any dust. So I wouldn't worry about that.
Overall, I think Honda did a nice job with this cabin, and I think it will also stand the test of time as it goes on. They can just tweak it, and hey, how about all the buttons and knobs? Not everything is done in the screen, which we also like.
Here are the available features for the CR-V. They include navigation, a 12-speaker Bose sound system, rear camera washer, and low-speed braking control. Well, this is one of the biggest in this class, so when you get in the back seat, if you have people that need space, this is a great choice. You get a lot of leg room, a lot of headroom. The seats recline. There's an armrest in this. There's also dedicated air vents and USB ports in the back. How does it stack up?
Comparing the CR-V to the Kia Sportage, the Honda offers 41.3 inches of front row legroom, which is very close to the Kia. Second row legroom at 41 inches is just a little less than the Sportage.
And then you lift the tailgate on this one, power operated, and because this is a hybrid, the floor doesn't have any additional storage underneath, and that's why it doesn't have a temporary spare tire.
Cargo space behind the second row at 39.3 cubic feet is the same as the Kia, and overall cargo space for the CR-V is 76.5 cubic feet, which is larger.
So we're going to get our coffee going. After that, we have a great hot topic about recalls, so stick around.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Love your reviews. Thank you. Do you know if Honda will ever upgrade the infotainment screen to something bigger, like in the Accord or the new Passport? Doesn't that new Passport look great? I really like what Honda has done.
Yeah, I like the outside. Looks really cool. Boxy looking. That's what everybody likes. They like the idea that they're going off-road and being all rugged, but they're not.
And how about something besides black, a black interior? That was nice to see as well. You know what, Honda doesn't talk to us about future models, so I would assume that this is going to get that eventually. It's too bad it didn't get it initially like the Accord, but
here's the one thing to keep an eye on, then we'll move on to the next question. RAV4, not CR-V. RAV4 is going to be updated in about a year to an all-new model. And you'll see all of the competition come with either new models or heavily updated to compete with that. Wouldn't that be a nice refresh to do partway through this model cycle to give it a new infotainment screen? So stay tuned.
There's a few other things that Honda needs to add as well because it's missing a lot of features. Looking forward to your review. How does it compare to the Korean twins? I would say that the Sportage and the Tucson are probably the quietest hybrids in this class. Yeah, this is pretty quiet, but they're still winners. Very refined and smooth. But Honda has done a good job with it. The CR-V and the Korean cousins are the largest in this class. So if you need the space, those are the three. Then
back to the previous question, then you look at the interiors of the new products from Korea. They have much nicer interiors. Yeah, so I think that's one thing that this is really kind of falling behind, is it's time to update it. And I think it's coming. Just stay tuned. And also the Korean twins have an automatic transmission for their hybrid and plug-in hybrid. This is an e-CVT.
if you're fussy about that and you don't like an e-CVT, that is another option for you. Seems like the CX-50 Hybrid is a better choice, slightly cheaper, and with the new Toyota powertrain, it will definitely be reliable in the long run. Would you agree?
Well, it's interesting because in the US, they have a lot less features in that model. In Canada, they loaded it up, and I think you're right. I think when you go feature set to feature set, price, a very reliable RAV4 hybrid system, that one's going to be a winner if you can get one.
This hybrid is the most expensive hybrid in its class. If you're going to compare top trim to top trim, there's only 2 trims in Canada, so it's just expensive in general. In the US, there are 3, so you do have a more stripped down hybrid, and that gives you some flexibility budget-wise, but this is pricey, so I agree. The CX-50 is a good one. The powertrain is tried and true. It's a Toyota powertrain, but it still is a new model. It may have that powertrain. So I always say, you know, if you're worried about reliability, just hold off that first year and watch it and see how it goes.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
Very nice crossover, but I'd be super concerned about reliability in light of the recent recalls involving steering issues and fuel pump failure. Also, lack of spare tire could be an issue on a road trip.
Well, unfortunately, because cars are so sophisticated now, recalls are just a fact of life. And every brand has recalls. The thing is, if you're thinking about buying this new, all of those recalls will be done before you buy it. And if you have one of these before the recalls were instituted, it's all free, and work with the dealer. And I don't think recalls are definitely a barometer of quality. I think it's a manufacturing issue.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is that people look at Honda for dependability and reliability. So having 3 recalls on one vehicle is a little bit scary, you know, for consumers. So one of them, the sticky steering recall on that, as you mentioned. You've also got the fuel pump issue, and Honda is going to be looking at vehicles in December to see if that needs to be switched out. Now that affects 2023 to 2025 CR-V hybrids. There's also one more recall on the 2023 CR-V hybrid, and that involves a faulty high voltage battery, which may need to be replaced.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a fact of life that there are recalls. It wouldn't stop me from buying this car. It wouldn't. It just wouldn't. I'm like, yeah. I mean, if there's an issue, you know, they're a brand that stands behind it. I think that's the way you want it to be. And
they have to be a brand that stands behind it because they've built their whole reputation on being reliable.
All right, so now we're getting into the vital stats. The fuel economy, of course, for hybrid is a big one, and more.
Let's start with pricing. We'll do Canada first and then move on to the US. Pricing includes freight, PDI, and fees. The EXL model starts at just under $49,500, and the Touring is just under $52,000 Canadian. In the US, the base Sport model starts at just over $34,500, and the top Sport Touring is just over $41,000.
Here's the fuel economy for this hybrid. 6 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 6.9 on the highway. That's 40 miles per gallon in the city, 34 miles per gallon on the highway. The CR-V hybrid can only tow 1,000 pounds, and the warranty is 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles. So you want a compact crossover, and you want a hybrid. Here's 4 to consider.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
The Mazda CX-50 hybrid with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, a combined 219 horsepower, and a starting price of almost $41,000.
The Hyundai Tucson hybrid with a 1.6-liter turbo 4-cylinder, 226 horsepower, and a starting price of almost $46,000.
The Kia Sportage hybrid with the same powertrain as the Tucson, but a lower starting price of $41,000.
The King, the Toyota RAV4 hybrid with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, 219 horsepower, and a starting price of $39,000.
So there are 4 hybrid crossovers for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we'd like to see improved.
Honda's produced a wonderful hybrid powertrain.
I'm going to agree with Andrea. This is a real driver's crossover.
What I'd like to see is a height adjustment on the passenger seat.
And why, oh why, can we not get a cheaper base model for the Canadian market like they have in the United States? Bring one in.
Yeah.
Actually, wait a second. It's made in Canada. There you go. So there it is. It's the Honda CR-V Hybrid. What do you think of that?
Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, subscribe. We'll see you next time.